What's up, everybody? Alex here. Welcome back to another video. And hey, right off the bat, cheers. Time of recording this, it is Sunday, May 12th, maybe. It's Mother's Day, so sorry. And it's perfect. It's so gorgeous out, man. It is like the best weather I could possibly imagine. And sometimes it calls for some day drinking out of a plastic cup, man. Cheap beer, plastic cup. I'm into it. I want to talk about a record. I want to talk about a band that means a lot to me. And I think for a lot of you might perplex you if you don't know me and you don't know my history and how far I go back with this band and why they're so important to me. So without further ado, because this will be probably haphazard and all over the place as it were, but specifically I want to talk about this record here. The latest from Counting Crows. Yes, that Counting Crows. The Counting Crows. Butter Miracle, the Complete Suites. Now let's just get it out of the way now. Artwork, awful. Name of the record, even worse. We can own that and we can appreciate it and we can just accept it. You know, there's a lot of problems in this world. Let's not make this one be the big one, okay? This is the latest record that was released by Counting Crows. And again, yes, that Counting Crows, just this past Friday on May 9th. Or 8th. Whatever. Clearly, I don't know what day it is. Their first LP release of original material in 11 years. So I guess that's since 2014. I'm just killing it right now. And I'll tell you right now, I absolutely love this. Now, this is already shot up on my best of the year list, but there's a bit of a complex thing here because several years ago they released this Butter Miracle Suite 1. Which was an EP, which consisted of a suite of songs. Side 1, or Side A, was the Butter Miracle Suite EP, and then Side B was the bonus track of August and Everything After with the London Studio Orchestra, which happens to be one of my favorite Counting Crows tracks of all time. I don't know that it has ever been physically released before, especially not on vinyl, maybe on CD somewhere. So this was released as an EP with the bonus track, and then this Side B is just this EP, and then Side A is more new stuff. So the complicated part is, yes, this is a full studio album of original material, their first in 11 years. However, it's not all brand new. It's not all music that was written last year or whatever. It includes this EP from several years ago as Side B onto this sort of thing. So I want to start kind of towards the beginning. Back in 2004, so I was 14 years old. I saw Counting Crows in concert, and it did nothing for me. I was not a fan. I went in there as just like play Mr. Jones, you know. It's like I looked at them like the Trogs, you know, where it was like open with Wild Thing, close with Wild Thing, encore with Wild Thing. That was like how I looked at Counting Crows with Mr. Jones, and they didn't even play Mr. Jones. And I actually, again, as 14-year-old Alex in 2004, who was I into at those times? The band they were playing with, which was the Goo Goo Dolls. Yes, I think, was that maybe Let Love In tour? Regardless, I know, for like the prog and metal jazz guy, and I'm sitting here talking about this, you're probably like, what is going on? But it was a triple bill, actually. It was Counting Crows and Goo Goo Dolls kind of co-headlining, and then the opener was a band called Augustana. They had a huge hit with a song called Boston back in the early 2000s, and I don't think I've really done much since. All that to say, I was 14 years old. I went with some friends. I was there for the hits. You know, I was there for Iris. I was there for Name. I was there for, you know, all that kind of stuff. Counting Crows didn't really do much for me, except I think I appreciated that they didn't play Mr. Jones because, you know, that would be like the typecast, right? So at some point over the next several years, one of my absolute best friends from high school, I was in bands with him. We were hanging out all the time. One of my absolute best friends, his name was Corey. Corey, if you're out there watching, I'm going to share this with you just so you know. Him and I somehow just fell for Counting Crows at some point, and we listened to this record, of course, August and Everything After, gazillions of times. I mean, this is one of my favorite records of all time. This is their debut that came out back in 1993. Obviously had the hit Mr. Jones on there, but had so much other great stuff too. Adam Duritz, the singer, songwriter for Counting Crows, just did a great interview a few weeks ago with Rick Beato, and kind of talking about how like Mr. Jones was the hit, right? Like that was what kind of blew him up, but when they performed around here, I think on Saturday Night Live, like that is what kind of elevated them into like superstardom. So an incredible album, one of my favorite albums of all time. But actually, sometimes depending on the day, I actually sometimes go back to their second record, Recovering the Satellites from 1996. A completely different sounding record. It's a little bit heavier, it's a little bit grittier, it's a little bit darker, it's a little bit more complex. This first record, I think a lot of people are going to know Counting Crows. I heard somebody say once that their sound could be summed up as a combination of Van Morrison and REM. And I kind of get that because it does have that alternative jangly sort of thing that REM had. But then also I can totally see how people would correlate Adam's voice and his delivery with Van and sort of that meandering, where is he going? What's the melody here? It's different every time sort of thing. So Recovering the Satellites. Now, neither of these are originals. Originals are very expensive. This is a reissue from several years ago that I think is also jumped up in value. This might be like $100 record now, which is kind of crazy. Then they released two records that are either way out of print or never have been printed. This Desert Life and Hard Candy. Hard Candy goes back to 2002. This Desert Life, I think, was 99. Then, I think in 2007, they released Saturday Nights and Sunday Mornings. That was their last on Geffen. Again, a record that's been sorely out of print for a long time. I ended up seeing them again sometime, I think in 2008, when they were on they did the Outlaw Roadshow, and I got to see them twice on that tour. And opening for them were a couple of different bands, but the one band that stood out for me was a band called Good Old War. Americana Sam, I think we've talked about this a long time ago, but I got a chance. Good Old War blew me away. I don't know if they're on like permanent hiatus, if they're still doing, but those few records that they put out were amazing. In fact, when I saw them, it was when they were promoting the big single called Amazing Eyes, which was an amazing song. So did that a couple times in 2008 or 9-ish, and then saw them again in 2019 in the summer. And I think that was, who opened that show? It was Liv. Liv opened that show. Liv, live, Throwing Copper. Hermie crashes and old mother dies. Okay, that weird song about placenta falling to the floor. It's a whole thing. Anyway, all this to say, it has been a long time since we've gotten a record. Now let's, fast forward all the way to 2014, which was this record, Somewhere Under Wonderland, which was their first of original material since 2007's or whatever, Saturday Nights, Sunday Mornings. They did do a cover record in there somewhere, like everybody does at the end of their career. But this was released back in 2014, I guess. And good, decent. It's like, I like it. Am I going to like compare it to Recovering the Satellites? No. But still, I don't think they can really do like a bad song. Palisades Park kicks it off. It's great. God of Ocean Tides is a really cool song. Possibilities Days was a great tune. There's a lot of cool stuff on here, but we've been waiting a long, long time. And so when Butter Miracle Sweet came out, it's hard to take that seriously. It was like a breath of fresh air, right? So I'll jump right back into this record here. Now, I did splurge for this. When the pre-order for this opened up, it was my birthday week. And I said, you know what, Alex? Splurge and get the signed version. Can I make out the signatures? Absolutely not. That's part of the fun sometimes. So I did get this signed by the band. It's amazing. Counting Crows are a top 10 band for me. That is what blows some people away. I don't know if it's rooted in friendship and in relationships and in good memories and in adolescence and in developmental experiences. I'm sure, right? Like that's why everybody has a favorite band. When you think about these favorite bands that mean a lot to you emotionally, you don't sit there and think about like, why is that the case? Like, let me put this in an Excel sheet and decide if that's why I really like them. No, they're these artists that come around and present themselves at a meaningful, developmental part of your life, and they stick with you forever. And it doesn't matter how many prog bands I'll listen to, or how many death metal bands I'll listen to, or how many Miles Davis records I own. When I listen to Counting Crows, I go back to a time in my life that means a lot to me. They make you feel something. And ultimately, that's what art is. That's what creative expression is. That's what music is. And so that's why I talk about it. So all this to say, how is this record? Well, I'll tell you, I fucking love it, okay? Here's the thing. Side B is that suite, which is great. It is a suite. It is 4 different tracks that are connected by a common thread. Think side B of Abbey Road, right? They're all kind of interwoven. They flow together. Tough to see where one ends and the other begins. Great stuff. What I love, and this goes into the actual side A as well, there is still this great combination of just good old-fashioned, kind of just summer jangly rock and roll, right? It's nothing special. It's nothing pretentious. They're just really good songs. And the band is so tight, the band is so good. This lineup of the band has been together forever. A lot of these songwriters are going back to writing together since the late 80s. They've been together for such a long time. The band is just so tight. And so how do you describe it? Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of jangle rock, jangle rock, alternative rock music. But of course, to me, Adam Duritz is the leader. And I understand maybe Adam doesn't have the voice for you. Totally understand that, right? He's obviously the leader, the front man, the writer, all that type of stuff. But this is a band that is absolutely a band, 1000%, where I don't think musically there's anybody who's more important than anybody else. I mean, they got 3 guitar players. They're all writers. They all sing. 6 people in this band all sing in harmonies in one way or the other. To me, though, the magic formula of the sound of Counting Crows, outside of Adam and his writing and his voice, has always been Charlie, the piano player, the keyboard player, the accordion player. To me, Charlie, and obviously a completely different style of music, but he has the impact on this band the same way Ray Manzarek had the impact on the Doors, where it was just, he sets the sound, he sets the mood, he sets the vibe. Everything about his playing is just set up so well. It's not, he's not ripping keyboard solos, it's not Keith Emerson over here, but from the arrangement and song perspective, to me, he is the secret weapon that creates the sound. And then obviously you have all the vocals and everything else. There's this great combination of just good old fashioned open the windows at summer, kind of summer rock music. You know what I mean? Like, I think that is something that is sort of lost in the, from the 90s or whatever, right? Like, it's not dark music by any means. Adam's still a very emotional writer, but that doesn't mean the songs are sad. So there's that kind of that high end, happy, summer vibe that goes on. But there's also the softer elements. Virginia Through the Rain is an incredible ballad. To me, the single of the year, one of the best songs I have heard all year, is Under the Aurora. That's what closes out side A. It was released as a single. I absolutely love that song. I think that's a great place to start. It's kind of a combination of those highs and feel goods, but also just beautiful, beautiful lyric writing and songwriting from the band. A lot of people, I always love, like, a new album comes out from like a band, and we always have to think of, is this the best album since blank, right? Like, that's what everybody is saying. Is this the best album since blank? We could be talking about Dream Theater, and they're like, is this the best album since Train of Thought? All this kind of stuff. To me, I don't know. That's a hard thing to talk about, because a lot of times new music comes with a lot more of an emotional attachment to it than, thinking about how it ranks among other stuff. But a lot of people are saying that this is the best thing they've done since Hard Candy. And again, Hard Candy was back in 2002. I might agree with that. I mean, I'm absolutely loving this right now. And I did not love those other records as much. Now, again, was I following music as much as when those records came out? No. Have I been looking for this looking forward to this for years? Yes. I'm sure that's that emotional element there. But to me, I mean, this is a great record. This is going to be up there with the tops for me of the year. If you're a 90s kid, a 90s guy, if you like that 90s music, don't sell these guys out. They haven't exactly been prolific. I think this is their 9th studio album, which is not a lot when you consider they've been around for 35 years. And again, they're first in 11. So I'm loving this. title and artwork aside, I'm absolutely loving this, and I hope you will too. So there you go, whole bunch of blabbing, whole bunch of joking, whole bunch of drinking, and yeah, that's it. We're done. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you on the next one, people. Take care now. Bye.